fantastic.
I'm completely on board with you. I can't understand how you can watch a movie that if the character was not trans, the movie would not have happened, and then take that as it's not a trans story. Like it's not a trans struggle story, even though the main character heavily struggled with the transition and what had to happen because of it.
Mm.
Like all of that. That was a struggle, but it
Which
wasn't an
was
identity struggle.
right, and there was even it was even kind of couched, like almost again, like we talk about the misdirects of this movie. Um, some of that struggle was even couched from not just being trans, but also the exceptionalism because she was so much. They pound that she is so much smarter than everybody
Smart,
else.
strong, like
Yeah.
she yeah,
So
they really did. And I want more. Like I mean that has to be the mark of a good movie is even when
sure.
it's done you watch it twice and you still want more story. But that is one of the main like really good things about Predestination is I watched it the first time, good. I watched it the second time, it was even better. I'm pretty sure I could sit down and watch it a few more times and not
Hmm.
get bored.
Oh, sure. Yeah. No,
So
that definitely. Did
you
I
got to
tell
give it.
you? Did I tell you about how like the first time I watched Highlander, I watched it 4 times in a single day.
Jesus Christ, no.
Yeah, I
Like
was.
like Highlander, the original number
Yeah,
one, with
with
the Scottish Spaniard.
yep, with yep. Because what had happened, it was I can't remember what the event was, but I think my mom had to go. I was like maybe 6 years old at the time. I think 7 years old. Um, and my mom had to go to work on a Saturday for some reason,
Mm-hmm.
and the daycare that I usually went to wasn't open. Of course, it was the weekend, and so she basically like dropped me off at a neighbor's house. Neighbors had a teenage daughter that agreed to just hang out with me for the day. Oops, kicked the microphone again. Um, and she, to her credit, she came prepared. She was like, "Oh yeah, I went over to the video store, rented a bunch of movies. We'll watch movies all day." First one she pops in was Highlander, and we watched it all the way through. And she was like, "Damn, that was a really good movie." We like, and before we even got the next movie started, some friend of hers shows up to just drop in, and she starts telling her like, "Oh yeah, we just watched this really good movie. Oh, you know what? Let's just watch it again." So we watch it a second time to show the friend, and then the friend watches the movie with us, leaves, and then a few minutes after that, her parents come home for the day, and she tells them, "Oh yeah, we just were watching this really great movie. Here, let's watch it again." She plays it for the third time, so her parents could see it, and then after that, we finally okay, we've now watched it 3 times, and now we're finally looking at the other movies that she rented, and we're trying to decide which one to put in next. And while we're doing that, she goes, I just want to watch Highlander again. Are you okay with that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." And so now this time, just the two, even though we had just watched it 3 times in a row, she was just like, "I want to watch it again." And so we watch it for a fourth time, and
There
then it
are
was
quite a few movies that I have watched over and over and over again. Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one.
okay.
That's one that's on there. Weirdly though, X2, X Men United is on there.
Mm, interesting. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that that one would go up there,
Yeah.
but that movie flows as a repeat story over and over and over
It's
again very
interesting. Yeah.
easily. Well, where does the movie start and stop, or start and end?
I don't remember all the three first X-Men movies kind of all jumble as one movie in my head. I keep forgetting which one is
The
which.
third one, I've cut the third one.
Okay.
I
That's
I I,
fair.
I love Famke Janssen, and they didn't even let her act in that movie.
Oh well, yeah.
She just stood there the
That's
whole time.
there were many crimes committed by all these movies. Let's be honest.
True.
So
I
Sony
don't know, man.
never.
X2 was pretty. Is there anything wrong with that movie?
It's been a long time since I've seen it, so I can't say for sure. But
The
I can
first,
tell
like
you that I
our
have.
first live action viewing of Wolverine in his berserker mode. Iceman gave us like some cool performances. We saw Colossus for the first time.
I mean, again, it's been a
Jubilee.
while. I just remember being
Oh God,
consistently
the actor who plays
underwhelmed by.
Stryker. God, who is that? He's in like he plays in the Bourne movies. He's you know what I'm talking about, right?
I haven't watched. I don't think I've watched X2 since it came out. I think I saw it in the theaters, and then that was it. I've never felt compelled to watch it a second time.
See,
So
okay.
yeah,
At that point, I was a teenager. I had been taken out of the city, and I was living on the farm, and I had nothing.
mm,
No, like I had like I had a neighbor that was about 2 miles away, and I did not like him. Like I was nope. I was out in
right,
the country. I was flying solo, and like every other weekend, I had a buddy that would come out and visit. That's it.
yeah.
Not. I watched a lot of movies at
I
that
think
point.
if I were to say like, I
But I was
would be, it would
really
be a,
heavy into Martin Lawrence comedy back then. At that point,
oh sure. Well, there was a pretty solid time there where he was the best there was for a while there for a good couple years.
he had a good window. It was a small window, but he had a
Mm,
pretty good one.
yeah,
Bad Boys is a good movie.
the first
Big
one, sure,
Mama's,
yeah,
yeah, the first one.
yeah.
But yeah, they fell into sequel like the
I
same sequel
remember,
issues that
yeah,
a lot of
I remember
franchises do.
watching his TV show, his sitcom when it was
Lawrence
on. Yeah,
or Martin.
it was Martin. Yeah, it was Martin. It was Martin is what it called. Yeah,
I remember that one. I don't actually know if I ever watched it. You ever see Blue Streak with him and Luke Wilson?
I feel like I have, but I don't remember it.
Jesus, Luke Wilson plays like I don't know why he doesn't have to do much, but he's funny.
Yeah,
He does
he's
literally
very
next to nothing, and he's hilarious.
Luke Wilson. I mean, for almost the exact opposite reason, but he's right up there with someone like Christopher Walken, who basically just plays a different version of himself in everything he does, and it just works somehow. Like but they are polar opposites in the reason why.
At some point, I don't know how we're gonna do this, but we're gonna have to cover Idiocracy.
Well, that's easy because I have not seen the Idiocracy all the way through. I've only seen bits and pieces of it.
Why?
Never got around to it.
Dude, you lived through the Trump administration. You really should have watched that movie.
No, well, and that may be why it was still too raw.
Okay.
Well, I actually no,
Yeah.
it came out way before Trump did. So
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Well,
You know,
it was
one of my favorite facts about that movie.
mm,
You know what all of the dumbest characters are wearing in that movie?
Crocs.
Yep.
Yep.
Because the filmmaker thought they were idiot. He looked at them. He took one look at them. And he went, "Those are idiot shoes."
Yep.
Now
No,
they're some of the most
that's the thing
popular
is
shoes in the fucking
I'm
country.
fully aware, and that may be another reason why I never saw it all the way through is because I am so fully aware of all the elements of the movie because everyone talks about it. I kind of don't need to see it. I think because I already know what happens, all the all the jokes and I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's yep, that works. Yeah, that's funny.
There,
I can see how that'd be funny. Yeah.
I do understand where you're coming from with that. That's really, 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 really easy to see. Because I have a few movies like that. However, every time I actually do go watch the movie that I have that opinion of, I'm always proven wrong.
That's true, and that does always happen.
So
But
even when I have that thought come into my own mind, I gotta kind of knock it out of my own head because it doesn't make as much sense as I want it to. And what the hell?
what?
That is funny. Because
What are
the
you
way
looking
the way the light hits like is going through my hair only at certain angles, so it looks like I
at?
have like a half helmet. I'm really having fun with the short hair, man, and it's coming back a lot faster than I was expecting.
Mm,
I thought I was gonna have a couple of weeks of like being able to run my hands over it and get that stubble feeling,
right.
that look right there. It's like half bald, half full hair. uh, Nah,
You know, it's weird. Okay,
yeah.
so there's a possible two-way tie of the movies that I have seen on repeat the most.
And what's the other one?
So The Paper is definitely the one because I keep showing it to people and seeing it. I lost track of the number of times I've seen it. The
Have
other
you watched
one,
it since we covered it?
no, actually I haven't. I should.
I was curious because you still need to check out and see if you see that Batman logo. I know that's
Yeah.
gonna crack you up when you see it this time.
But the other one was Fifth Element, and
Oh,
that one is that mainly happened because it was like for a
Mila
time me and
Jovovich.
Mila Jovovich, well, me and my roommates back in the roommates that I had back in the '90s, like it was like like we didn't have cable TV and we were in a part of town where broadcast TV wasn't working very well, and so
Mm-hmm.
literally we could only watch VHS, and we were all so damn broke we couldn't rent, so we literally had just the one tape of Fifth Element that we just played on a loop because it was the only entertainment we had,
Same
and
era,
we
same time
never
frame,
got tired of it.
same story. Boondock Saints.
That's a good one too. Yeah,
Yeah, I basically everything that you just described. A couple years later, and the exact same situation.
yep,
Boondock Saints.
yep.
Like,
And you know, and still,
yeah,
and like still to this day, like even though, yeah, I watched it on a loop for almost a year straight, I think. So God knows how many times I watched it. Still not sick of it. My son caught it, you know, on TV a while back, and he was watching it, and I sat down and watched it with him. Didn't wasn't bored for 1 second. Like that
mm.
movie is pure entertainment every second of the way.
That's how I feel about The Mask as well, though.
Okay,
As I've gotten older, I've taken a beat from watching The Mask as much as I used to because I just don't want to. I don't want it to get old.
right.
I don't know if I ever could have that because I'm sorry, Cameron Diaz, her rendition of G Baby, Ain't I Good to You? Are you kidding me?
That was that was unfair how hot she was in that. Like I
G
think that
Baby,
was the
ain't I
I
good
think
to
that was
you?
my introduction to Cameron Diaz. I think that was the first thing I saw her in, and it was
Yep.
very much one of those like, where has this woman been my entire life?
Because
and the
it was that adult film, and then it was Last Supper and The Mask. Like
mhm.
those are like she is label she is in the title card of The Mask. It is listed as introducing Cameron Diaz.
Oh really? I did not
Mm-hmm.
know that. Okay,
Yeah. Oh no, I know this movie.
sure. I will bow to your expertise on that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I dude, the visual effects of him turning into the wolf and smashing himself with the hammer, that should not look as good as it does.
No, that's true. That was a triumph then and today. Still, it still holds up. Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Dude,
and
like
amazing too
94 to
because
96.
like you talk
Why were those so good?
like we talk about how like in Bound how like Corky's saying the audience's thoughts. Like in that movie, the mask is saying the audience's thoughts in that scene because
Who
that was an
else on
ungodly
planet
introduction.
Earth could have done that role as well as Jim Carrey did?
Look,
I
I
know
still
you
say
want to say Tom Hanks, but I
I'm not
just
saying
can't.
I'm not saying he would have done as well. I'm saying that's what his role was in the Hollywood holosphere, and that if Jim Carrey wasn't a thing yet, it probably would have been Tom Hanks and probably would not have been as big of a hit. But that was who Tom Hanks that was the role that Tom
I don't
Hanks
know, man.
fit
They were. I mean, they were the
before
same
Tom
time though. Like Tom Hanks is only 6 years older than Jim Carrey.
Tom Hanks did Philadelphia and made that transition from a comedy actor to a serious actor exactly 1 year before Ace Ventura
Once
came
what?
out.
Well, yeah, but he was already busy before Ace Ventura.
Jim Carrey,
Yeah, he was
he was
in
doing
like
TV.
he did in Living Color before
Yeah,
Ace Ventura.
and that was
Um,
basically and well, and he was in that one vampire movie I can't remember the
Once
name
Bitten.
of. Once, but yeah. But
Then there
the
was
thing
another movie called Rubberface,
that was a
which,
nothing burger though. No one saw that movie.
how dare you? Don't you call that movie a nothing burger? That, come on, man, really?
Dude, Rubberface is a trivia question. That is not. No one saw
So
that movie.
what? I did, and I was entertained.
Oh, I'm sure it was fine. I'm sure it was good, but that doesn't count as having the same. That doesn't mean that the Jim Carrey, Tom Hanks oeuvre overlapped. Tom Hanks retired from the comedic role and became a serious actor, and Jim Carrey took over. That's what I'm saying. And yes, he elevated it. I'm not saying he's not deserving. All I'm saying is that when you take a if you take a look at the position that Jim Carrey held in the comedy movie world at the height of his career, before he held it,
Bam,
Tom
bam,
Hanks
bam,
did.
bam, bam, bam.
That's all I'm saying.
8 years before Ace Ventura, Earth Girls Are Easy. Jim Carrey was Jim Carrey. He was
Right.
from the start. That
I
he
was
is,
actually
yeah.
planning on I was actually planning on assigning Earth Girls Are Easy.
I have seen Earth Girls Are Easy, but it has been so long that I guarantee, because seeing Jim Carrey and Damon Wayans unleash like that, I'm
No,
all
that's
the way
true.
on board.
Yeah.
I'm all the
No,
way on
yeah.
board to
That
watch
was
that
that was
again.
definitely iconic. But Earth Girls Are Easy but again, I mean that was a Jeff Goldblum movie. That wasn't a Jim Carrey movie.
I'll agree, but Jim Carrey was still like, that was 88, and wait, is that right? Yeah, okay, that was 88, and he was already on that path. So that was 2 years
Oh,
even before
he
he
was
did
on the
In Living Color.
Yeah, no, he was on the path. I'm not saying
Yeah.
he's not deserving of any of his. I'm just saying when you think wacky comedian, of the movies, you think Jim Carrey, but before he had that reputation, before he did Ace Ventura and solidified himself in that position was held by Tom Hanks.
I gotta look up Tom Hanks early, because I
Bachelor
gotta
Party.
see.
And he was also in a sitcom called Bosom Buddies. I remember watching with my parents as a kid.
Literally no idea.
Him, okay, and the guy who, fuck, what's his name? The guy who played, what did he? Okay, do you remember when they made a TV show version of Honey I Shrunk the Kids?
Kind of.
The guy
Like,
who
I'm
played
aware of it.
the guy who played Rick Moranis' role in that TV show, he starred opposite of Tom Hanks in the Bosom Buddies TV show.
Okay.
It's weird.
I'm really struggling with that one. Okay, so all right, I see the Money Pit, Man with One Red Shoe, which that's
Money Pit.
5.7.
Man
The
with One
Man
Red
with
Shoe.
One Red Shoe is 5.7. Are you
That is
kidding me?
considered one of Tom Hanks's worst movies. Yeah. No, I remember when that came out, everybody hated that movie.
Well, everybody's kind of dumb. I'm sorry. That's
But yeah,
that is
Money
not
Pit
a
is
5.7.
Money Pit is very much would like if Money Pit was made in the 90s, that absolutely would have gone to Jim Carrey for sure.
I see a couple roles here that I guess, yeah, I guess I could see it. I really struggle with it. I can't even pretend like I don't struggle with that like intensely.
I'm not saying that like they owe each other or anything like I'm not saying that Jim
No,
Carrey
no.
doesn't earn it. I'm saying that when you think of like in the same way that like what's another example I can
Because
think
because Tom Hanks is loud.
of?
I don't think Jim Carrey is loud. Physically,
You don't
he's
think
very
Jim
very
Carrey-
he's very animated, very physical. No, he's not loud. Like he's got the ha ha ha. Like I can't do it without actually screaming. Like he has a couple of those things, but as an actor, Tom Hanks, like in his early career, constantly shouting.
Right. It
Not
was
Jim
it
Carrey.
was it was a kind of sort of comedic overacting,
Yeah, see, like
and
him, very like verbally, very like up.
yeah,
But Jim Carrey was very physically up, but he was not much for like the shouting in his earlier roles.
he did do a lot of yelling and shouting in Liar
Mm-hmm.
Liar. He's certainly, and Ace Ventura even did a few. There's quite a few of Ace Ventura's lines that are delivered of him just elevating from regular speaking voice to shouting.
I know when he falls into the fish tank, and then like when he comes out, he's like the whole "Do not go in
Yep.
there."
Oh, and then there was
Woo!
oh, and
Like
then
he
there
does
was
like the woo, but like Tom
when
Hanks will
he
go for like 5 minutes of shouting.
in the Batman movie when he played Riddler, he was screaming his head off for that entire fucking movie.
That was him playing the Riddler. Tom Hanks, for like a few years, you could pull out scenes where, like in every movie, where he is just shouting about something because that was one of his trademarks. You got
Mhm.
mail. What is happening here? What is going on? Like all of
Yeah,
that. Like that is a Tom Hanks. Like that. Like any movie.
yeah.
Any. Oh fuck. Turner and Hooch. That was the
Turner.
whole movie.
Yeah.
Like,
I
yeah.
look. I'm not saying that they're the same.
I'm trying to find. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's
My
no, I get it,
point.
I get it.
Hollywood has these like iconic moments where it's
Yeah,
like if you have this kind of character, you have to get this actor first as your first try. And when it comes to the wacky comedy, it was Jim Carrey for a long time. He held that position. He was the first guy to ask in that position every time. But before Jim Carrey held that position, Tom Hanks held it.
see, and I completely disagree because I'm gonna say Steve Martin.
No, no. Steve Martin was his own thing.
Steve Martin was wacky, like a lot of the same shit. Like I could see Jim Carrey being the jerk,
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
but I couldn't see Tom
I
Hanks being the
suppose
jerk.
I suppose an argument could be made, if not for the fact
Because did you
that
ever
Steve
see?
Martin.
Is it Keeping the Faith? Like which one is that Steve Martin plays?
Oh,
Like
the televangelist. Yeah,
yeah,
keeping the faith. You're right. Yeah.
Keeping the Faith. Yeah. No, that I could see Tom Hanks have done it, like doing that role
Hmm.
because like Steve Martin, he was not one or the other. He was across
That's
the
true.
board.
Yeah.
Um, but like movies like The Jerk and Dirty Rotten Scoundrels,
Yeah.
I could have seen Jim Carrey doing like because like the last time we had a remake of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, it was Steve Martin and Michael Caine. Or have they done another?
There actually is a new one, and it stars Anne Hathaway and Rebel Wilson.
I hate it and I want to see it right now.
That was my thought too. I watched it. It is okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh man, Rebel Wilson is so damn good that that gave me really high hopes.
Yeah. No, me too.
And I guarantee, and I
I
immediately
thought
know which character
I
she played.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
obvious, of course. Yeah,
yeah.
you don't even have to ask. But yeah, but yeah, it was okay. Like it.
Is it called Dirty Rotten Scoundrels or did they
No,
change
I
the name?
can't. They changed the name. I don't remember what they named it though. But it is obviously like I think it was. I didn't even know. Like I just heard that Anne Hathaway and Rebel Wilson were in a movie together, and I was like, well, that's all I need to know. And I started watching it, and 2 minutes in, I was like, oh, holy shit, it's Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. They fuck. Oh, this is gonna be amazing. It's not bad.
Pardon me. I'd like to go to the bathroom.
Yep.
Thank you. Oh, Jesus, Steve Martin. Come on, man. Like he did that so well, I can't even impersonate it.
No, yeah,
And
no,
it's
it
not
was.
like I'm like some incredible impressionist, but
No, it was. Yeah, no, it probably
yeah,
was some of his best work.
like
Speaking of, have you?
stacking him with Michael Caine was not. I mean, as because I fell in love with that movie when I was 6 years old.
Mm,
Because I remember the house that I was watching that in, and I remember how old I was at that house. I was 6 years old watching that movie, and I fell in love with that. Do you know how good of a movie it has to be to actually entertain and engage and like really rope
To
in
be
a
a
freaking 6-year-old?
right, yeah, and it's a 6 year old, and it's not a kids movie, but yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I get it. Yeah, I saw it
We
in
we
the
should we
theater
should
with my
cover that
parents.
at some point. We should
Yeah,
probably cover all three versions then.
that is a grand idea. I love that idea
That would be a
because I
fun
don't think I've
episode.
ever actually seen the original.
I'm trying. I've been sitting here in the back of my mind trying to remember who the original actors were, and I'm gonna feel dumb when I look it up.
Mm.
Apparently that became a musical as well.
No.
2006. The show closed on Broadway on September 3rd, 2006, after a total of 626 performances.
Fuck you, New York.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. However, wow, does that not make sense?
No, totally, yeah.
It's called
Someone.
the original is called Bedtime Story, and it's 1964.
Okay.
Marlon Brando, David Niven, and oh fuck yeah, Shirley fucking Jones.
Oh wow,
Bringing it
yeah.
around to today's episode.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. No, I think that's a grand idea. The
Yep.
the the three con man reversal movies. Yeah.
I want to see Shirley Jones in that role real bad.
Totally. Yeah.
I
That's gonna
cuz
be dope.
yeah, that's going to be a hmm. How do we do that?
Well, we're just gonna have to not
Just
divide
compare
the
and contrast or
yeah, just do one episode where we talk about all three movies in tandem instead of separating it up. Instead of separating the movies as conversation, we just talk about all three movies as one episode together, comparing and
try to
contrasting.
discuss just basically try to discuss all three act 1s, act 2s and act 3s at the same time.
I guess, yeah, and how each character was interpreted, and just kind of just do a retrospective on a. I'll tell you, it's going to be tough though, because we both grew up with the Dirty
With
Rotten
yeah.
Scoundrels, so the other two versions are going to have to carry a lot of water to
You have
compete.
to but look who's starring in the original though.
That's true. That's some heavy fucking hitters. That is a very good
That's
point there.
yeah, that's going to be wow. Yeah, because I knew it was an original. I actually should really
What a weird
write
title,
these down.
bedtime stories. That doesn't make any sense.
I'm gonna agree with you. But I'm also not gonna feel super bad at the fact that I couldn't remember it because I was never gonna pull that out of anywhere.
Right. Well, same reason why I didn't remember The Hustle is because all three versions of this movie are Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
But Dirty Rotten Scoundrels is the only one. I think that is the most appropriate title.
And memorable, the most memorable title too.
Yeah. So we should probably figure out a few different films that actually we'd be able to do this for.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah.
Because I mean, this is an entirely different show. Kind of.
Can we?
It doesn't have to
Yeah,
be.
doesn't
But
have to be.
yeah.
Trying to think if there's any other I could think of that has that sort of like multi versions creation. I mean, speaking of Jim Carrey, Fun with Dick and Jane, I heard was a remake, but I'd never heard of nor seen the original, whatever it was a remake of.
That is true. That is true. But not that. And not Jim Carrey. I don't know why I'm pretending like that fed into this at all. It doesn't. But Mr. and Mrs. Smith, they have a new one coming out with Donald Glover, which was based
That is
a remake
that
from Brad and Angelina
right.
remake, which is the I think first film adaptation of the TV show Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Okay. Well, that's gonna be a tough one because the second the new one you're talking about with Donald Glover is also a TV series. It's already out.
Dude, things happen way too quick, man. That is, come
So
on now.
that would be a lot to go back on to watch the old TV series
Not
and the
happening. Not doing it.
yeah, nope,
No.
don't have that much time.
No. 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 No.
I am gonna be watching the new series though. I've
We
heard it's
could
extremely
do
good.
like like with Bernie Mac and Ashton Kutcher, it was called Guess Who, but that is a remake of the classic
Guess
tale
who's coming
Guess
to
Who's
dinner?
Coming to Dinner.
Yeah,
Yes,
and it was a
we could do
reversal.
that.
It was Sidney Poitier was in that one, wasn't he?
Yeah, so we could do that.
Yeah.
Like that would
Wasn't
be.
there a remake of the In-Laws as well? I remember the
I don't know.
original In-Laws had Peter Falk in it, and wasn't there a new version of that?
I don't know.
Huh?
The In-Laws.
Yeah,
Would it be called The In-Laws?
I don't know.
I got. Yep. There's. Whoa. There's the 1979 with Peter Falk and Alan Arkin.
Yep, and I saw that. That was good.
Then there's the
Funny as
In-Laws
hell.
with Albert Brooks and Michael Douglas in 2003.
What? That can't be the same movie.
About 30 years or 24 years apart, and then 20 years after that, there's something called The Outlaws with Adam Devine and Pierce Brosnan.
I remember hearing about that one. That might, yeah, be the same idea there. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I think that, yeah. I think that would actually be, those might, well, we should probably check to see if they actually are tied together the way I think they are. But yeah, I know the one with Peter Falk was, and Alan Arkin was funny as hell. I remember watching that years ago. God, one of those,
Well, I know
man,
there's a
poor,
few.
I feel
Yeah.
so sad for kids today that channel surfing just isn't a thing because the
Yeah.
number of phenomenal shit I discovered by accident just from channel surfing.
Yeah,
Jesus
just like
Christ.
going through and just kicking stuff. Somebody grabs your attention, and you look back, and you're like,
Yeah.
uh, "This
You,
looks
you, you
awesome."
yeah, you're like something like you happen to catch it and you're just like, what is this for 5 seconds? And that 5 seconds is all it takes for you to be in. And now you're just like, I have to watch everything related to this now, you know?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I can't remember who said this. Maybe you can. But if I could have one wish, it would be to go back and watch my favorite movie again for the first time.
Mm. Yeah, I think I've heard that before too. I don't know who said it either.
I can't remember who said it, but I mean, what a relatable quote.
Yeah, I can think of a few things. Not just
Wish.
favorite movies, but favorite like off the top of my head, I'm thinking of a video game that I played like 2 or 3 years ago that I would love to play for the first time again.
Is it Elden Ring?
No, it's called The Outer Wilds.
Not a clue. Have you looked into Elden Ring?
I have. It is on my wish list, but I have not. I'm waiting for it to be heavily on sale before I buy it.
Well, with the DLC coming out next month, I kind of doubt that's going to happen.
I have waited patiently before. I can wait patiently again. I have.
Um,
I have in
what do you have?
mine.
What is your console?
I use my stepfather's old computer since he had a stroke and doesn't use it anymore. So now I've got it, and it was built by.
Well, I was gonna send you if you had it. I was gonna send you my
Yeah.
PS4 copy of it because I have the 5.
Yeah, nope. Sorry, don't have the console. I do PC and I do everything on Steam.
You're one of those.
Not by choice. It's just what's there. I had a PS3 for a little while because I was able to get one for free from someone who had just bought a PS4, so they gave me their PS3, and I played GTA 5 on that. That was great.
No,
Um,
I never played any, or I haven't played any of the GTAs since the original one, like the
mm,
top-down view and all that.
right, yeah. GTA 5 was a hell of a ride, man. I recommend it.
I I get it. I just I don't have a giant problem against guns. I just don't like playing games where I just don't like playing shooters.
Oh, I see.
I
Okay.
like sword games. I like battle games. I like things like that. But I don't like oh damn it, like just like I hate dying literally just because I shot over somebody's shoulder.
Okay.
Like I really hate that. That's really annoying to me. I don't get the enjoyment out of it that a lot of people do. Like I know like a lot of my friends they like playing games because they like rage quitting. They like
Oh
getting
yeah.
a
No, I
rise out of the
I
game.
don't get that at all. They're actually like the one
Mm.
time I actually quit a game and never finished it. Uh, it was literally because I had rage quit it so many times that I was like, fine, I'm done. I'm going into the settings and I'm changing it to easy mode. I'm done with this shit. I don't care what all the gamer kids are, what names the gamer kids are going to call me. I'm switching to easy mode just so I can get through this. I don't fucking care anymore.
What was it?
It was the original Alan Wake game,
Don't
and it
ever remember
had
that.
no easy mode. There was no changing it. So I, to this
That
day, have not finished the
that
game.
that is one of the things that I truly love about Elden Ring.
Mhm.
A lot of people who buy the game they haven't been able to finish it, and I like that because that gives you two options: get
Mm.
good at the game, or don't beat it and give up. Like that is it. You can't switch to easy mode. You actually just have to get better, and I like that. That is a good challenge and a message that I think more people should like
No,
have.
I understand that, and I get
I
that.
liked
That's
it.
how some gamers prefer to do it. For me, 90% of the time, if I'm playing a game, I'm playing it for the story, and
Mm-hmm.
the actual like game part of it to me is just sort of like an interactive option to get me invested. And there are fun
So
ways to
what?
do that, but for me, it's like, yeah, no, if the only, and especially with like, I remember getting really mad at
Wait. Before
Bioshock
before
2.
before we switch, what do you know about Elden Ring?
I mean, I just know from some of the memes I've seen online that it's a fantasy based game and that there's a really hot four-armed blue chick character in there somewhere. That's about the extent of what I know.
Oh, right. Okay. I had no idea who you're talking about, and I've played this game a lot. I was very confused. Yes. The game. So Hidetaka Miyazaki, the director of the game, heavily involved with From Software for years and years. He
I
convinced George.
know that name. Where
He
do I know that
convinced
name from?
George R. Martin to write an entire story and build the world, and then the game creators destroyed the world that George R. Martin created. So all of the main characters, all the story, everything that happens, George R. Martin wrote that game like Game of Thrones style, full on, did all of it, and then the game developers took that story, destroyed the entire world, and the entire game takes place in the aftermath of that story.
Interesting. Okay.
The way this game was put together is it's next level. I've never heard of anything like it, and it is every single thing that I have ever wanted in a game. This game has.
Look, I'm already sold on it. Like I said, it's on my wish list. But
Oh yeah, no, that's not
like
just for you. That's for them too.
yeah, for like one time in my entire life have I ever paid full price for a brand new game, and I'm never doing it again.
Is that the
Because
game that you couldn't beat?
no, nope, it was Fallout 4.
Oh, I'm actually just thinking about starting Fallout to see because this show was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I was thinking about playing the game to check it out.
the game is great. The game is great. But when it first came out, and apparent, and I didn't find this out until after this experience, after I bought the game the day it was released, paid full price for
Oh,
it,
I
and
hear
then
that Bethesda is
Bethesda
horrible
puts
for
out
releasing with glitches.
buggy as fuck games with game crashing bugs in them. Yeah, no. I
No,
did not know that
I
because
almost bought Fallout
I,
76 because I was the photographer at the press release party
oh,
for Fallout
nice.
76. So
Yep.
I almost bought it, and then I like that week I just wasn't doing good with money or something like that,
Yeah.
And then I just heard all the complaints, and I was like, I'll hold off.
Yep. Nope. Good move. Yep.
But where I did where they did the press release for Fallout 76 was was in a vault,
Nice.
like a real
Nice.
life vault in Greenbrier, West Virginia, where they evacuate people from DC and they send them into this vault. Now, here's something I was really hoping we'd be able to see, like in the show and everything like that.
Mhm.
In order to close the door on this vault, it took 3 engines. Each hinge needed an engine to
Yep.
operate.
Uh huh. Sounds about right.
I wanted to see something like that in the show because the real world application of that was so ridiculously cool and everything like that, that's what I was hoping for. But I mean, the game and everything, they had to do
Right. The
they
one.
had to
Yeah.
do it. I understand. But like, dude, I was in this vault. Like, I was on the basketball court. My cameras and everything were set up on the basketball court in a vault.
That's
So
pretty dope. Yeah. I'm pretty jealous there. That sounds pretty cool.
like when I was doing the photography thing, I wound up in some really really cool positions, and I wound up at like Jamie Foxx's house, and I did
Wow.
a party there, and I would like to say that I have a
Mhm.
story where I'm like, "Hey Jamie, how you doing?" No, no, no. But the guy who was working with me apparently now now you know how this goes, man. You never like unless you're literally there, you have no idea whether these people are telling the truth or not.
Right. Yeah.
But the guy who was working with me, he said that he went down to the basketball court and he was taking some pictures, and then he just like looked at Jamie Foxx and he's like, "Huh, Jamie Foxx," and he's like, "What's good, baby?" Which I want to imagine that Jamie Foxx would do that, and I
Right.
completely believe that. But this is also a person who like would sit there and say that he went to a Dave Chappelle show and Dave Chappelle like pointed him out and said, "This guy's got it."
Right. Yeah. No.
So, you know,
Yeah. You gotta
like
kind of take it or leave it all there. Yep.
yeah, like I would like to imagine that's a real story, but I also don't want to like I
Well, okay. So if you're getting into the Fallout games,
yeah.
I would recommend starting with Fallout 3 before you do Fallout 4.
Oh, I was just
Main
gonna go Fallout 76. Like, yeah.
Nope. 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 Nope.
Really?
Nope. Yep. Nope.
Wow, that's emphatic.
Yep. Nope.
What?
I say this as someone who, according to my Steam statistics, has put in 245 hours on Fallout 76. I can tell you, don't bother.
Shit.
Yeah.
How are you gonna put that much time into something and then not recommend it?
I
Like what?
really, really,
I
really
mean,
missed the
you
Fallout
definitely have
world.
done your research.
Yeah. I because I liked Fallout. Like, here's the thing: I played Fallout 4 on my roommate's PS4. According to my PlayStation stats on that one, I clocked in over 500 hours on that one because I was playing it over and over and over. Because there are so many different ways to
Damn.
play these games. Like the way you can customize your character, how you can
Yeah, I
team
was
up with different
actually looking into
companions.
some like
Yeah,
beginners guides, beginners tips, and all this stuff, and the amount of different builds and the amount of all these things. Like they don't even have a comprehensive starting guide because they're
yeah,
like
that's the thing. It
get in and
really
go.
is. Yeah. You get in, you
Yeah.
go to the end, and the good news is that even once you get to the end, now you have a better idea of maybe stuff you want to try, and you can go back to the beginning, make completely different decisions, team up with completely different people, get a completely different story, and get a completely different ending. And that's before you even get into the add-ons. There's 2 add-ons
Elden
for
Ring,
Fallout 4.
7 different endings.
Nice. Okay. See, there you go. Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, I would say start with Fallout 3 because it's the smaller one. If you played through Fallout 4 and once you were done with it, you you want more, you could go to Fallout 3, but Fallout 3 is so much smaller, you'd probably walk away disappointed. The mainline story for
oh,
both of them is quality stuff. They're both worth playing, but Fallout 3 being the smaller one, I'd say get that one out of the way first.
I wasn't. To be honest, I'm not exactly playing the game. Like I'm not gonna play the game for the story. because
Oh,
when
okay.
you have that much and you have to like get the details from the story within like computers and terminals and talking to the right people and through all the right options, I'm just if I play it, I'm probably just gonna play it to play it.
No, that's fine. And I am
Yeah.
talking about main story here. Like what you're talking about is all
Oh.
of a bunch of very like add-on stuff. A lot of like if
Mm-hmm.
you're the kind of person who likes to hunt for Easter eggs and stuff, there
Mm-hmm.
is a lot of that in there. But even if I'm just talking mainline story here, there's so much more in Fallout 4, and
Let
then you
me
got two more add-ons and so
let
on.
let me tell you a little. Okay, so did you ever play Dark Souls,
No,
Bloodborne?
no.
I highly recommend. Well, you're not much of a horror guy. What about games?
What? What? Oh,
You're
what
not
about
a
games?
horror guy, but what
Yeah, I
about
mean,
like
I kind of go
games like
back.
that kind of stuff?
I I kind of go back and forth on that. I haven't been drawn to it, but like I've said before with the movies, like there have been occasions in which people will talk about something enough, my curiosity will be piqued, and I'll check it out. That's
Yeah.
how I fell for Willy's Wonderland. Um, and and
Yeah.
and with the games, it's a I don't know. Like again, it depends. I'm really very centered. I'm very story centric when it comes to games. Like if the story is compelling
Okay.
enough, I'll put up with
So
almost anything.
here's what I really, really love about Elden Ring. You don't know what the fuck is going on ever. You
Okay,
find out the story by reading the description on weapons and items
interesting.
and
Okay,
looking at paintings in buildings. Like that's how you get the story in this. Like it is
that's clever.
you it is so clever, man. It really really is. Like you pick up a medallion that opens a door.
Hmm.
You look at the medallion and it tells you a little bit about a character from a different part of the story.
Okay.
It is
So that
good.
similar thing with the one I was telling you about with Outer Wilds. With Outer
Outer Wilds. Okay,
Wilds,
that's the one you're talking
yeah,
about.
you were in that one. You're basically kind of an explorer, and the exploration group that you're with has just for the first time finally gotten a translator for the ancient aliens that existed there before you did, and you've been finding their ruins everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They finally translated their language, and you're the first one to go out there with a translator, and so you're basically exploring all of these different planets in this little solar system, and you're the first one to actually be able to read all of the writings
That
that they've
sounds
left
really
behind.
interesting.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, I've never
I
heard of it.
cannot
That's
stress how
yeah.
how good this I yeah, Outer Wilds. Not to be confused with Outer Worlds. There is a game called Outer Worlds that
Or the
is
TV show The Outer Limits.
right, yeah. But no, this is the Outer Wilds, and completely different game. And yeah, no, it's one of the this is one of those games where I would tell you the less you know about it before you start playing it, the better.
And Elden Ring is one of those games that you cannot know enough about it because the game doesn't tell you a damn thing.
Okay.
And I could tell you every single thing about this game, and you could go and play the game and be like, "Wait, what was that?" Like literally, like there's a character in like because literally I can do this. I can do this. It's that good. There's a
Mm.
character called Dung Eater.
Yeah, nice.
Mm-hmm. And this is never explained, never at all. But through like research and people checking out, like going into the game's lore, looking at armor, looking at his armor, and looking at some of the details on it, they figured out that the Dung Eater is actually a Japanese myth or legend that what they believed, and the reason why you shit yourself when you die is because basically your soul is held in your taint.
I think I remember hearing about
So
this.
this story, this character rips your soul out, basically out your ass.
Right, yes.
Yeah, that is never explained. at all. But that's how he, like, once he kills you, that's the thing that happens afterwards. That is the only explanation that you get, and the kind of armor that he wears, a couple of the small details on it. That is the way that they made this game.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay.
It is.
No, I'm looking forward to playing it someday. I really am.
Yeah, like I said, the DLC comes out in next month. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that might mean because I mean that was how it was for Cyberpunk when the Liberty
Oh, I haven't checked
Island
that out yet.
when the Liberty Island DLC came out. Cyberpunk itself went on sale pretty heavily. I haven't played it yet, but I finally bought it because it was so
That
because it was so
might
deeply on sale. Because the
Fallout
Liberty Island,
$5. Yeah, that's why.
yeah.
That's why I'm checking it out, because Fallout 76 was $5.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But if it's that bad, then that kind of
It,
makes
I
sense.
mean, it's you might because the reason why I played it was
Because,
because
like I said, the only reason that I'm actually playing it is because the show is great and it is
yeah,
going to keep going, and
yes,
all of that. I just want to understand, like, some of the mechanics and some of the smaller details that people who played the games, they just appreciate the show that much more than I do,
right.
and I already appreciate the show. So,
And you're gonna get almost none of that in Fallout 76. A vast
ah,
majority, vast majority of that is in Fallout 4, and a pretty decent amount of it in Fallout 3, but mostly Fallout 4.
well, because from what I understand, Fallout 76 only takes place 25 years after the bombs fell. So, not a lot of mutations, not a lot of things. Like, yeah.
That doesn't. Yeah, I guess that's about right. Yeah, and that was part of the issue when it first came out, is that it was empty. There was no story. There was only PvP, and that's why people didn't like it, is because part of the draw, what makes Fallout so good is its story.
Hmm. Okay.
And Fallout 76 had no story. They did add some story, and that was kind of partly like when I did
Well,
finally
so
buy it.
everything that you're saying, that is everything that I also heard and I
Mhm.
read, like I did. But when the show released, I checked out. I was like, which Fallout should I play? And a few people went back and I watched some videos of them playing Fallout 76.
Mhm.
And they were saying, like, I came back just to check the game out to do this video. I've been playing the game for like 3 days straight. Like, apparently a lot of that stuff, like, they went in and they added storylines, they added characters, they added a bunch of stuff that just wasn't there before. So from everything that I understand, and I don't have the basis of comparison, but from what I've read and watched, this is not the same game that was released.
I mean, well, it's true, and I even got it later. I think the last time I
Oh, well
played,
then that
I think
sucks because, yeah.
the last time I played Fallout 76, I think was about a year ago, maybe a little bit less.
Okay, no, I'm talking like, these are people, like, their videos are only like 10 days old as of
Okay,
now.
right.
So
Well, I
for
stand by it.
$5, I'm gonna try it.
No, and that's
Yeah.
fine. I feel like Fallout 76 is more for people who are already fans of Fallout and want to continue a more
That makes sense.
freeform journey on it. I think if you're looking to understand Fallout lore,
Oh,
you want to do Fallout 3 and 4. And
so
I would recommend 1 and 2, except that they are like really like 80s PC level games. They are very low graphics, very limited in its
yeah, see,
dynamic.
that's the thing that I really enjoy, like, love about Elden Ring. I am floored,
Hmm.
flat out. I'm looking at plants and I'm like, that looks as good as that. That's freaking weird, man. That's
Yeah.
crazy because my TV ain't that good.
Yeah.
So that should not be a thing that is like I'm completely amazed. But, like, checking Fallout, the graphics on that, it feels
It's not,
older.
yeah, it's not a graphics. That was another major complaint that people had when Fallout 4 came out, is that graphics wise it was zero improvement from
Yeah.
Fallout 3 that came out like 6 years earlier, you
But
know.
here's one thing that I really want to, like, if you want to check out, like, the From Software games, Bloodborne. You know, like games, you have like load screens, you different maps, take you all over the place and everything like that.
Hmm.
Bloodborne all takes place within one direct location. The map is very, very condensed, and the buildings work together in a way. It's like a very, very beautiful 18th century cathedral and graveyard and castle. Just
Nice. Okay.
all tied like in one and one and one. And you have elevators, you have secret passages, you have all these things. But the game is absolutely massive with a small map. It is like
It's
the
kind of like
ingenuity is incredible.
one of the old Resident Evils almost.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember
Yeah.
which one I'm thinking of that took place
You're
all in one
thinking you're
house.
thinking Nemesis,
Okay.
right?
No, I haven't played Nemesis. I've played 4. I've played 0.
Oh, you're talking about the one that takes place in the mansion.
Yeah. Which one is that?
Right. That was before I started playing them.
Okay.
Nemesis was my first game, and that basically just took place all around like 3 streets.
Interesting.
Like
Nice.
it was,
Okay.
it was, like a lot of it was pretty close and tied together. I will say, From Software is my favorite game developer. Square Enix will always have a special place in my heart, but I play them out of habit.
Right. I
Um,
have
yeah.
yeah. I've got a love-hate relationship with Square Enix.
Well, essentially for me, the entire franchise is Final Fantasy VII. Like that was when all of my friends were playing Diablo 2. I did not have that good of a computer.
Right,
I
yeah.
I was playing Final Fantasy VII. Like we didn't have the money like that the rest of my buddies did. So I was a few years behind, but because I like Final Fantasy VII was the game that I discovered during that time, I didn't mind.
Right. And I think that's kind of like why I've been uh why I've been so passive about video games. It's kind of for the same reason. Like for me, while all of my friends were playing on their like Nintendo Cubes, I was at home on my cheap ass computer still playing Doom 2. You know,
Hmm.
so
Like I remember, I got
I'm a patient
yeah.
cheapskate when it comes to video games.
And no, that's an important thing to have though,
Mm.
because I did get the consoles, but it was weird. Like my parents didn't quite understand that you need games. Like
Well, they thought
I
you could just play the same one game over and over again.
I don't know what they. No, no, no. I didn't like. I remember when I got a PlayStation. There was no game. Like they didn't get a game. They didn't get any game. They thought it was just the PlayStation. I wound up going to Pizza Hut and getting the demo. I'm
I
surprised
mean, I
that
guess
I
I wouldn't
made it through the week.
since you've already got Fallout 76. I won't stop you from trying it out, but I genuinely think that you would get a better experience from starting with Fallout 3 and working your way up to 76.
But Fallout 76 is chronologically the first, so there is that.
I suppose technically, yeah.
I don't know, but I mean, because like I said, I just wanted to get an understanding over all this and just grab a little bit of the appreciation that, some of the
Yeah.
others had. Because if we ever do take a week to discuss this, go
Why
into the
not?
show because, yeah, I mean, if we could probably start going into some limited series at some point because
Sure.
as long as it's not 22 episodes or something
Right, yeah.
like that, then like if you're talking about something like Fall of the House of Usher. It's only 8
Sure.
episodes, like those limited series on Netflix. Those would be
Yeah.
pretty easy to
Oh,
discuss.
I don't know if it's going to be. I have not heard if they're doing a season 2 or not. But if it does turn out to be just a single shot season 1, I know Night Agent would definitely be one that I wanted to do.
You've mentioned that before. I need to go watch that. Yeah,
You would really like it, yeah.
I'll have to check. I'll definitely have to check that out. I want you to watch Fall of the House of Usher,
Yeah, okay.
but like just because I want you to see that, I don't know if you should. Because I know you don't do well. Like I know you're not a big fan of horror. I'm not saying they don't. I don't know if it gives you
Well,
nightmares or anything like that.
I'm familiar
But
with the story that it's based off of, so it's not like I'm
the
going to be going
I'm
in
not talking
surprised.
about that, dude. I'm talking about just the sheer filmmaking, the editing, like what they actually present, how they do it. It's
Okay.
cinematically gorgeous, and the
You know what?
creativity behind it is it's just it's next level. It's beyond. It's really really good.
Maybe I'll get there. I mean, I
Yeah.
definitely have heard good things. I've never heard it pitched as a horror before. I heard it pitched as a very suspenseful drama. You're the first person that I've heard to lump it in with horror. So, yeah.
Huh? All right. Well, I guess check out the first episode and then let me know what you think because, huh?
Okay.
Are they
All right.
pitching it to you that way because they know you don't like horror and they want you to
May
watch it?
that might be that's probably true. Yeah.
Because I don't really have another response beyond, huh? Like I really, huh? I I got
Okay.
nothing else. Uh,
As soon as I guess
yeah.
as soon as I finish Uncanny Counter 2, then I'll put that on next.
Uncanny Counter.
Uncanny Counter. It's a Korean serial, and they actually like from my understanding they don't do second seasons of Korean serials, but they did of this one, and I was really glad because I loved the first one. And it's basically about a Korean like action drama comedy.
I'm watching a Korean thing right now too. Actually,
Yeah, what are you watching?
Sweet Tooth.
Sweet Tooth, the kid with the antlers?
Am I? Did not expect my dogs to come running at me.
They miss you. You've been gone
They always
for
do.
4 whole hours.
Yeah, they do not handle that very well. No, it's not that one either. Sweet Home.
Oh, I've seen Sweet Home.
Yeah.
That took me a while to get through. That one's fucking hardcore.
Yeah, and apparently there's a season 3 coming. So
No, I didn't know that there was a season 2 to it.
yeah, but there's a time jump apparently. Like I was making my way through season 1 pretty fast, and then I saw that season 2 there was a time jump and it was different characters, and I was like, well, I'm not in a big rush then.
Yeah. No,
So
yeah, I think
I'll let this last a little bit.
that was yeah. Speaking of like, I mean, that just goes to show.
Huge
I am
mixture
not.
between really good graphics and really terrible physics.
Yeah, it's a weird one, right?
Yeah.
I have an issue with how the Koreans do flashbacks too.
I I have not watched enough Korean
I
film,
was
television, anything to actually be
it
able
may
to speak on that.
it may
Squid
be a
Game was
stylized
Korean,
thing.
right?
Yeah, I haven't watched that
Did
though.
they do any flashbacks like that? Oh, you haven't seen that yet?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but I was watching when I watched the first Uncanny Counter. I was also watching one I think was called Prometheus, and I was watching them both back to back, and they both did flashbacks the same way.
The Alien Origin movie?
No. It was maybe was it Prometheus or was it Icarus? I can't remember. It was some. It might have been called Icarus, but
Because
yeah, it was.
Prometheus was the Xenomorph Origin film, which they've like forgot
Well,
to film like 20%
it's
of it.
also the name of the guy who stole fire, so it's not like they own that name. So
Hey, we owe that dude, okay? All right, that's our guy. Zeus was up there being a dick. Prometheus is our guy. I've been doing like a buttload of research on the other story, and I just keep like I'm learning a lot about religions. Always knew about Prometheus, but still, man, that's our dude. Like that really is
no,
like
yeah,
in
no,
that
he's like
in
he's
in
like
that
the hero of
mythology.
all of them. Yeah,
he is like the Jesus of like that story as far as it goes for mankind.
Well, now I can't find it. It's been so many years. But the point is that I was watching two Korean dramas back to back, and they both did flashbacks the same way, and I was annoyed by it. So I was thinking that this must just be how Korean TV does their flashbacks.
I'm really curious. I don't like. I want to know what the mechanic is because I'm curious about it.
It's hard to describe, but just kind of you got to see it to
Yeah.
understand it.
Let me
Yeah,
let me know when you figure that out because I do.
yeah. But
Okay.
Uncanny Counter is a good one. It's a fun one. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah, better than Willy's Wonderland.
Very much so. On many
Yeah.
levels. Many, many levels. Yep.
Man, I really hope you enjoyed the Skeleton Key because I don't know how I love Nick Cage. I mean,
So do I. I honestly, that's the thing. I was
when
like,
he does good, it's great.
I really thought going into this, because you can see from the poster, like right off the bat, oh, this is a Five Nights at Freddy knockoff.
Yeah,
And
true. But I also saw, and I didn't watch any of the preview. I just saw a little bit of a clip for the preview, and Nick Cage looks like a weird emo goth kid from like 2002.
yep. Well, and that's the thing. Is like, and it's Nick Cage on the poster. Obvious. Like, I honestly thought I was going into a comedy. I thought this was going to be a parody of horror movies.
Definitely isn't.
Nope.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Um. So yeah, that's my revenge, and then we can move on from there. And then the next one will be good. I promise.
All right.
I'm trying to decide what I'm gonna. I've got a few. You already said that you haven't seen Don't Think Twice. I think I might assign you that one next.
Yeah, I haven't seen Don't Think Twice, so that's gonna be.
Yeah, and that's a
Oh
movie that's
crap.
going to. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna recommend you a precursor to that one right now, so you have plenty of time. Because Don't Think Twice is written, directed, and starring a stand-up comedian named Mike Birbiglia, and he's got a special. He's got a stand-up special on Netflix that
No,
I have.
I know, like me, who that is.
He's got a stand-up special on Netflix called Thank God for Jokes. You will love it. I have watched it a dozen times. Like, it is a hour long of stand-up comedy that I will put on the background just for comfort noise. And it is one of my favorite single hours of comedy. And that same guy wrote, directed, and stars in the next movie I'm going to make you watch.
All right, fair enough, fair enough.
So he's got a couple on there, but Thank God for Jokes is the one I'm talking about, and I know you'll like it.
Apparently, the person that I competed against didn't get the movie either.
Who are you talking about? What's his name?
I can't think of his name, but the actor who got the role is Sam Huntington.
Oh, okay.
You know him?
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a movie with Sam Huntington and Colette Wolfe.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Colette
I auditioned.
Wolfe?
I auditioned to play his part.
Huh.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. The actor that I'm talking about, he looks a little bit like me, maybe a little bit darker, longer hair, a little bit curly. When I figure out who that comedian is, I'll let you know.
Okay.
But yeah, it's funny. I clearly I never saw the movie because I thought he got that role. Because when I didn't get it, they told me he was the one that they were offering the role to, and I was like, that makes sense. But if he didn't take it, and then how did Sam Worthington get in, or not Worthington, Huntington? How did I got questions?
It's Hollywood, man. Let it go.
But I do like
It's Chinatown.
I do like him though. I really enjoy Sam Huntington. What was the movie like the? It was based off of a British TV show, not The Office, but it was a werewolf, a vampire, and a ghost.
Being Human.
Being Human. he was really. I saw a few episodes of season 1 of Being Human, and he was really good in that.
Oh, that the British version of that show was solid all the way to the end. I did not care for the American version as much. It wasn't bad, but I didn't get into it as well. But the British version, fucking a, it was solid TV all the way to the end.
I think I caught a couple episodes of the British, and I remember thinking that as well. And I think that's why I stopped watching the American Being Human.
Hmm.
Like, cause is that Sam Worthington, the other one who's in that with him? Basically, like he's like the Star Wars guy.
Oh.
No, 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 no. Sam Worthington is the guy that they keep trying to make happen. It just now do you know who I'm talking about when I say that?
No, I'm gonna go ahead and look him up. I know I've heard the name before, and it
Terminator
sounds familiar.
Genesis, Avatar, like he like they
Oh, okay,
Clash of the Titans. Like they tried
right,
really
yeah.
hard to
Oh,
make
yeah.
Sam Worthington happen, and
They
just I
really
don't know.
wanted him to be a star. Yeah,
America just wasn't having it. I don't know what that was about.
yeah.
Like they tried really, really hard to make him
I mean,
happen.
he's not bad, but yeah,
No, I don't think he's bad.
he just didn't have the stuff, I guess.
Yeah, whatever that X factor is that gets people in the seats.
Yep.
But he's in Avatar, which that movie was like crazy expensive. Even though I'm sorry to all the Avatar lovers, that movie kind of dumb.
I enjoyed it.
I'm not
Like
saying that like it doesn't. It's
yeah,
not
it,
enjoyable.
it it was a weird effect because it's like, yeah, it's like when I think about all of the elements of it, like, yeah, it's a it's pretty underwhelming when you think about what went into it, but at the same time, I saw it in the theaters and I fucking cried at that movie. Like, I don't know what
See,
the
I was
difference
deployed,
is.
so
I
I
don't know.
saw it on a laptop.
Okay, so yeah, I could see how that would diffuse the effect some, but
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
I don't.
yeah. No, the
But in
story didn't
the
land on me because the whole time I was watching it, I was like, "This is Dances with Wolves."
oh yeah, no, that's we all knew that. We all knew
And
that going
then
in.
not just that, I was like, "Did that motherfucker just say unobtainium?"
Yep. No, we were all there. Yeah. No, we get it. Yeah.
Like,
And that was the weird thing. Like, I remember even
huh?
talking to friends about this. Like, as moving as it was in the moment, like I said, saw it in the theaters, fucking cried. Walked out of the movie theater thinking like my life had changed from that experience. It took me all of a month to forget the movie existed. Like, it is a like someone brought it up in conversation like 6 months later, and I was like, oh right, I forgot about that movie. Like, it's weird how it's like it was very well delivered, like, but hard, fast hitting drug that was out of your
I
system and
just
nothing flat.
the things that really bothered me about the movie, they bothered me while I was watching the movie. It didn't like it was not one of those things that it took me a little bit afterwards.
Mm.
One, it really felt like he was sexually assaulting that bird.
They do kind of suggest that's what's going on. Yep. Yeah.
I'm sorry. That didn't that was weird. They didn't have to include that. They just did.
Hmm.
And that was weird. Um Also, thank God the white guy was there to think, let's go higher than the thing. Come on. You're gonna tell me like nobody in all the legends and all of this, nobody has ever done it, ever conquered it. Nobody ever thought to go just a little bit higher than it. Get the ever loving fuck out of here. James Cameron, you gave me Terminator 2. Get the fuck out of here with that unbelievably lazy writing bullshit. That was fucking dumb. Like that. Like I said, when I watched that, that really messed with me because I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Nobody ever thought to do that. Not one person. So your entire tribe is stupid. Okay.
Hey, I'm not going to
Like
sit here and defend the movie. Like I said,
no,
like I said, a month after
certain
watching it, I
things,
forgot it existed. You know,
certain things just really, really break, and that deciding to have those specific two things, let's just go ahead and forget unobtainium. All right, let's just go ahead and forget that for a minute.
I don't know.
I would
Do
like
we really
after
want
watching
to?
that movie, I would not let James Cameron hang out with my dog.
Which brings me to: have you seen Future Man?
Oh yeah, that was. I
Okay.
saw the first season, and that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Did
Okay.
it
Yeah.
keep going?
I believe there is a season 2. I don't remember much about it though, but I think it is. I think it is just the 2 seasons. Definitely. I don't think. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure there was not a season 3. But
Yeah,
yeah.
no.
No. So
Isn't that like Taron Egerton that stars in that?
I don't remember. I'd recognize the dude if I saw his face, but I don't
The
remember
kid
his
from
name.
Kingsman. Well, I guess he's not a kid anymore, but like, yeah, no.
No, I don't
From
think that was
Kingsman?
him. No, I don't think that was him.
PETA from Hunger Games?
It's Josh Hutcherson.
Oh. Where is he from?
Kentucky, according to this.
What? No,
Uh,
not like the fuck. All right, Doc. I want to show you something real quick.
oh no, you're right. He was PETA in Hunger Games. You're right.
Okay, okay. I think
Yeah.
I just got. I think he wasn't in Kingsman. I think I got that one mixed up.
Right.
Last thing that I'm gonna show you because I haven't shown you this before, and then I'm gonna jump off because I'm sick. I'm
Yeah,
tired.
it's getting
I'm
late.
going to
Yeah.
bed. All right, this plant right above me,
Yeah.
its max length is 10 feet.
Ooh, nice.
It's supposed to be 10 feet.
Well, clearly you're treating it well.
It ends like right there. It is where it ends. It goes through all of that, and the max length on that thing is only supposed to be 10 feet.
Well done.
I call bullshit. Don't you touch that button.
Oh, did he almost do
She
it again?
almost ended. She almost ended our show again, which I'm not. I wouldn't blame her, but
All right.
because like that's the cat that's like, okay, enough. You've been
Right, yeah.
ignoring me for long enough. All right, Skeleton Key, and you enjoy that one, and Willy's Wonderland, because I don't like that you gave me a revenge movie, man. Like I get it, I'll take it. Damn you. I think,
Hey,
but
you know
I'm
what?
pretty good. I'm
Maybe-
pretty good about
maybe-
finding something to love in everything, though.
As I say, maybe
might-
you'll surprise me and you'll actually like it. I don't see that happening, but I mean, stranger things have happened.
One of my favorite YouTube channels is Cinema Wins.
Mm.
I love that dude because I very much agree with him. There is something to love in every movie. Every single movie is somebody's favorite movie for a reason. And just because it doesn't hit me the same way that it hits that person, I still don't mind trying to find what that person what that person may love about the movie.
I can philosophically agree with that. Willy's Wonderland is going to test the fuck out of that theory, though.
Yeah. I've seen some Nick Cage. Like I watched The Witch Hunter. I know, man. I know. Right. There's also that one vampire movie that he plays that he actually literally he does like while he's crying in this movie he literally goes ah, boo hoo. Like he actually fucking says boo hoo in this movie. I cannot believe what the fucking fuck.
Is that you're not talking about Renfield, are you?
No, 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 no,
Okay.
no, no, no,
I was
no,
trying to
no.
remember.
This is not a good movie. This
Okay.
is
I
an
was trying to sit
old
here going like,
movie
what?
that no, 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 no. Like I'll talk to Kaylee. I'll see if we can track down what this was. We watched it together, and it.
All right.
I don't think we actually watched a movie for a while. I think we actually switched to anime for like a year after that.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah,
yow.
that's harsh.
I'm exaggerating, but not by as much as you might think. All right.
All
We're
right.
going to
You have a
close
good
up
night,
the
man.
after hour. You guys have a good week. We'll see you next week. Doc, enjoy Skeleton Key. I'm definitely going to after taking a look at that cast. Next week, we'll be back with the